definitely another exciting night in Trojan Arena. We are very grateful to come away from a good App State team with a win. It got really tight. They were trying to impose their will on us, which was to slow us up. They ran a press to try to slow us up, and then they got back in a zone to try to slow us up. And then they came out like everybody's doing now, like jumping on our back, aggressive for rebounding. And I think that's the blueprint for we're going to see down the line. The rest of Sunbelt play is teams are going to do that to us, and so we've got to get better at weathering that storm. But I am proud for the team. They showed so much guts the way they played defense down the stretch and rebounded down the stretch. I thought the first half might have been the best half that Zay has played. I just keep remembering her being up at the rim rebounding every time it came off the rim, and then she was being so aggressive to go score and shoot. And she played a good game all the way around, but that first half was really, really special. A lot of players did well. Leilani Guyon came off the bench and helped us because she's usually mainly a shooter for us, but we needed somebody to penetrate in and get to the goal and get fouled, and she did that several times, and that swayed some things in the game. It gave us some leverage to fight back against what they were doing to us. So proud of her as well.
And Coach, obviously we can talk about a lot of things, and I know it's kind of hard because there was a little bit of a distraction before the game with the 500 celebration. After the game we talk about the 274. And so just to kind of talk about how you're kind of able to, you got all these things coming in at you, but you still got a game to play. Just talk about how you're able to balance that.
I would be okay with all that if we just wouldn't make the game so close down the line. I really feel like I need to. I wish we could pull away and get a bigger lead and relax one time, but it just doesn't ever seem to happen, and I'm thankful we come out with a win. But those were nice distractions to have. I'm very thankful to have all these wins and all these wins at Troy. It is unusual for a coach to stay at one place this long, to accumulate that many wins, and I'm just so grateful for Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr. and for Troy University for giving me this opportunity, not only for hiring a junior college coach, which is what I was, but also for keeping me this long.
And Coach, kind of talk a little bit more about the fact that you were able to tie Joyce Sorrell for 274. Obviously, she was obviously she was a pioneer for the Troy women's basketball program, and then for you to come in and to tie it, what does that mean to you?
I mean, that's standing on some really big shoulders. Of course, I wasn't here when she coached, but I've heard from so many alumni that did play for her. And she started several of the women's sports here. I think all the women's sports. She was the originator of them and the founding coach of those sports. And then just the relationship that she had with those players. When they talk about her, it's like second to none. They're like how I want my players to speak about me. So to be mentioned in the same sentence with her name is an honor.
And Coach, now let's go a little bit deeper into the game. First quarter, App had a 10-point lead. Second quarter, you guys at third quarter, they did again. In the fourth quarter, you guys pulled it out with a double-digit win. Just talk about how you were kind of able to face those flows of momentum throughout the game.
Yeah, so I'm really proud of the team for that because, if you keep having these close games where you let people take the lead several times, you can't play with fire too many times. Eventually you get burned. So I'm really proud of the team. We've done this the last 3 or 4 games, and we've come out with wins in all of them. But so I am proud of that fact. But we have to learn how to get a lead and keep a lead, and it's really a lot about the flow of the game and what they were trying to do to us. We kind of led them at those times. We took more perimeter shots instead of penetrating in. And we just have to get better at staying in the driver's seat.
And Coach, final question. I know I mentioned it to Amani, but it's such a weird little piece of the schedule that you guys, after grinding through Sunbelt play, you pause it for a moment, go all the way to Indiana for a MAC challenge, and then you have to resume conference play. As a coach, what adjustments do you make, if any, to that kind of approach?
I don't think there's one coach in the MAC or in the Sun Belt. There's not one of us that are not like, oh my goodness. We're all focused on our conference and winning our conference, but in this race to try to win another Sun Belt championship for Troy University, we can't lose any leverage. We have to keep gaining momentum. And even though this game does not count for Sun Belt Conference play, we need to find as many ways to improve as much as we can in this short turnaround and going to Indiana to play this game.